Hey guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to the channel. If you're new to this channel, this is NEA Racing. So you're trying to get into sim racing. There are a plethora of options and you're confused. What do I get? This brand, Fanatec is here, Mazda is here. There are so many brands. There's so many sims out there and you don't know which one to run and you're confused. Well, I hope by the end of this video, I help you get that confusion out the door, narrow down your decisions to what you want and be able to make that decision in a matter of seconds, because now by the end of this video, you will know what you are looking for and what meets the requirements of the things that you need for your next sim build. First things first, when you're looking for a new sim or you're trying to get, for someone who's trying to get into the sim world, first thing you need to do is to know the purpose of your sim. If it's for fun, for training, or a mix of both, just know what your purpose is. If you're someone who plays games and you just want a steering wheel and pedals to just add to your console, whether it's a PlayStation and Xbox, just to add more fun, fine. If you're someone who actually wants to race more in the virtual world and be able to compete with people while actually getting the experience of what a real car feels like, that's your purpose. I'm here to answer the question for both sides, but mainly the latter side, which is getting into sim to race cars that actually feel like the real deal. So now you know your purpose. Next thing, which is number 2 in this item. First one was number 1. This is number 2. Number 2 is the software you're going to run. Based on your purpose, you should be able to pick up what software you need. For softwares that are, or more like games, which are games, you can mention like Forza, Gran Turismo, and the Formula 1 game is actually a game. It's not a sim. It's a game that wants to feel like a sim, but it's not. So those are like the 3 options. There are multiple options that are out there that actually are games. They don't actually feel like the real cars, but they're actually still fun. Now, if you're someone who's actually looking to use sim racing to train for a real event, or you want to drive virtual cars that are exact replicas in terms of feel, handling, pedal input, braking, all that stuff, they feel like the exact replicas, and you want to be able to drive these cars in a professional way and master the handling of these vehicles, then options like Assetto Corsa competition and even the Assetto Corsa itself, R Factor is also a good one. Le Mans is a new one that is still coming. I haven't been able to drive the Le Mans sim, but my to-go simulation is iRacing. And the reason I recommend iRacing to everyone who actually wants to go into the virtual racing world and actually race cars that feel like the real deal is, if you just take your time and do your research for iRacing, you see iRacing has been there since 2008, and they don't just have people who just love racing. They actually have real race car drivers who during their off season take part in these races hosted online because of the level of realism that they get from the sim. But eventually another day I will do a video more focused on iRacing. So now each individual, you know what your purpose is, you know what software to run. Now the next thing, which is number 3, which has multiple options, is your hardware. We're going to start first with the PC. First thing, when you're looking for a PC, each software that you want to run has a system requirement to be able to run that software. My recommendation, do not look for the bare minimum. Look for something that can do a bit more, or do way more and comfortably, because it's not just running the software for the game, it's also running the monitors that you're going to add to it and other accessories that you're going to add to the PC. Is going to run all of that. So you need a PC that is enough to carry all this load. For me, my PC has a processor 12900K, Intel 12900K, and the graphics card is an NVIDIA RTX 3090. And I run a triple 1440p 34-inch curved monitors that are capped at 165 hertz. So I've never had any issues running all triple screens, with this PC. And the thing is, when you have multiple cars, for example, in a race, the FPS drops a little bit, but not in a way that you're like, you can't even race. No, it doesn't go down to that level. The RTX 3090 can run triple 1440p screens, not properly to all the max settings, because FPS is king. Just get all the settings to the way that it looks good for you and it can run it. So my recommendation is, if you're getting a PC, get a PC that can run the kind of monitors that you're looking for. If you have a PC that can run one 4K monitor, know that it can run three 1080p monitors, because 4K is pretty much is the pixel density in a 4K monitor is the same pixels in four 1080p monitors. So if you have a PC that can run a 4K monitor at a good refresh rate, then definitely, if you want to go triple screen, it can easily take 1080p. So these are the things that you need to look into when you're getting a PC, based on what you want to buy. If I was to recommend someone getting a graphics card now at this day and time, I'll recommend they should go for the 1490 if they're trying to go a bit higher with their 1440p, or maybe trying to do a 4K triple screen setup. I've not tried the RTX 1490 graphics card, but I'm very, very comfortable with what I have, which is a triple 1440p, like I said, and the RTX 3090 is well enough, especially the fact that I'm solely using my PC for sim racing. And now, next thing in the hardware list is your monitors. Yes, I have a list that I'm looking at here to make sure that I don't miss anything. Yes, your monitors. Like I said, your PC can do as much as it can do. So if you get a set of 4K monitors, 4 or triple 4K monitors, and running them on an RTX 3090, trust me, you're overloading the graphics card and you're going to pay the price for it. So all I would say is this: if you are looking for a smooth gaming feel and you want to you still like a bit of graphics, the 1440p is actually the best option in terms of monitors that you're looking for, because when you go 4K, they are really, really expensive. 1080p monitors are really good, but 4K monitors are way too expensive. The prices eventually in the future are going to come down because of the way technology is going. But in my own opinion, if you go 1440p with your monitors, that is the sweet spot. I have a 1440p monitor, like I said, and it is a 1000R curved. There's a difference between what you want, whether you want flat or curved. It doesn't change whatever load is given to your PC in terms of like pixels or whatever. It just changes the way that it feels around you. It's not a flat surface, it's a curved surface that kind of makes you feel like you're sitting inside the car, and you can adjust your field of view in a way that is really, really comfortable, and it just wraps around you like a semi-circle. So I'm just giving you my recommendations for your monitors that you would like to pick. 1440p monitors are the sweet spot. Look for a refresh rate that is at least 144 hertz or even 120 hertz. You really don't need more than that when it comes to sim racing. And if your PC is strong enough to max out your monitors at their refresh rate when you're doing a race, that will be the smoothest feeling that you have when you're racing, because all your inputs or every information that is coming to you, you're getting them instantly and reacting to them immediately. So that's for the monitors. Next is your pedals. And the reason I go for pedals first before anything is your pedals will determine your cockpit. If you buy a pedal that is soft, you don't need a hard cockpit. Also, Wheelbase will also help you make that decision. But the reason I say pedals is the force that you put on your pedals, if it's on a platform that flexes, is going to be uncomfortable for you. There are a lot of options when it comes to pedals now. When back in like maybe I would say like 5 years ago, even before the pandemic, there weren't too many options on actual good pedals. But now, when you come to like SimLabs, Acertech, Sim Sports, Fanatec, which is having a lot of backlashes recently based on pre-orders that people ordered. There's a long story with Fanatec, but Fanatec was a brand I started with and is a brand I still use in terms of wheelbase. So, yeah. So there's Acertech, there's Fanatec, there's Simicube. There's so many options. I know everything is based on your budget, so look for what matches your budget and what will still give you what you're looking for. If you're looking for a stiff pedal that actually feels like a race pedal and that would give you more consistency, there are multiple options, but for my recommendation and for what I use the Acertech Sim Sports Invicta pedals. These pedals are amazing, and I mean when I say they're amazing, they are amazing. And the level of consistency that I've gotten just by practicing, I'm not contemplating on, oh, I'm getting to this corner, how much brake pressure should I put? Is it going to change? Is the elastomers inside faded that, no. The pressure, the force that you use is always the same. So your muscle builds that memory every single time, and you're not thinking twice on what pressure you're putting, because you know how your car behaves under braking, simply because your pedals have a consistent feel. Now, with that being said, if you're getting a hard pedal like that or a soft pedal, will determine what kind of cockpit that you're getting, which goes to the next point, or the third point in my list of hardware points. And the next one is your cockpit. If you have a soft pedal like I can't remember the exact name, but Fanatec had this entry-level pedals that were just as soft as nothing. It wasn't based on your pressure that you put, it was just based on your input. It was like something you just use in a couch and it works fine for you. You really don't need a whole cockpit or a rig like, an aluminum profile for something like that. It will actually be a waste of money. In fact, the best thing to do is play with what you have and eventually upgrade to the pedals, which will prompt you to then get an aluminum profile or a different rig that is able to withstand the kind of force that you're putting on the pedals. Now, there are a lot of cockpit options out there. Check companies like Next Level Racing, SimLabs, Track Racer, and there are also multiple options out there. So, but Next Level Racing is a good company. Track Racer is a good company. SimLabs, they're also good companies. I have not I haven't tried the track racer cockpit, any of their cockpits before. Neither have I tried the SimLabs cockpit. Ever since I started my sim racing journey, which you see clips of it as I'm telling you this, I started with Next Level Racing and Fanatec. And so far, so good. I've been with Next Level Racing and Fanatec till this very day. My wheelbase is Fanatec, my gear shifters are Fanatec, my cockpit itself is Next Level Racing. So I've been with Next Level Racing, which should speak volumes of what I think about their quality. But things can change every now and then. But in my own recommendation, the Next Level Racing cockpit is really good. They have their aluminum profile, which is the Elite series. I would highly recommend that you go through them and be very, very sure of what you want. When I was buying my sim, I got the Next Level FGT Elite, which is the cockpit that can switch from the Formula, Hybrid, and GT position. And then they released the Next Level Racing GT Elite, which was focused on a GT position, but you could still adjust the pedals to a good level. And in my honest opinion, if I waited just a little bit, I would have gotten the GT Elite, because it's literally the same aluminum profile. You just don't have the adjustability of switching from Formula to GT position. And most people who drive on their sim, even Max Verstappen, who is a Formula One three-time world champion, he drives in a GT position. So pretty much what the sim is supposed to be, it's like a training ground. It's not really supposed to be exactly the way your car feels like, but it's supposed to work those muscles that you would use when you're driving in a real car. Or if you don't plan to drive in a real car, you just pick a position that's good for you. If you want to drive in the Formula position, then you can get the FGT Elite. Place it in the Formula position and drive all through your sim life. Or you get the GT Elite, and they also have the GT Elite Lite. I think the Next Level has it too, which is a lot cheaper too. So there are multiple ways that you can save money when you're looking for a cockpit. Track Racers, they make an amazing cockpit. In fact, they were the ones I was looking at until Next Level Racing released their aluminum profile cockpit. And since they were the brand that I have bought from and I loved the quality of their products, I just went straight to them. I'm pretty sure that if I went to the Track Racer route or SimLabs route, I would have loved their product as well. So in my opinion, go through all that and look at the options that you would prefer. Eventually, in each of my components that I've mentioned, I would give an in-depth review of things that I like and things that I don't like. And maybe hopefully that will help you make your decision on those individual components. Now, the fourth thing after your cockpit is your wheelbase and steering wheel. Yes. Now, with a wheelbase and steering wheel, when I started sim racing, which was somewhere in I think right before the COVID era, like there was a huge gap between belt driven wheels and direct drive wheelbases. Like you'd see the belt driven wheel maybe might be $400-$500, and then you see the direct drive wheelbase is costing 1,700, 12, 1,700, 1,800. That was from Fanatec. Now the gap has been bridged. There's so many cheap entry level direct drive wheelbases that you can pick from. Moza is a good brand. Fanatec, they're good in my opinion, but so far they've been having a lot of backlash with orders that they've placed in pre-order that haven't showed to their customers, haven't received their orders in 3 months. And there's a video which I will click the link in below, or put the pop-up banner or something, most likely a link below, where a guy, I keep forgetting his name, but it should pop up somewhere here. He had the chance to have a full interview with the CEO of Fanatec to find out what the whole issue was. And they're still keeping fingers crossed to make sure that it all has to do with some licensing issues with Sony, and trying to make sure that everything is compliant before they ship the products to customers. And I know a lot of people who are just getting into the same world wouldn't want to encounter delays like that. So looking at companies like Moza, Acertech, SimSports, and other brands out there, maybe even Logitech and all that, might be a good place to go into. The thing I would say is this: the high end direct drive wheelbases have like 25, 20, 27 newton meters of torque, which I can guarantee you that 99% of people in the sim world would never get anywhere close to that torque figure when using their wheelbase and steering wheel. So the best thing I'll say is, in terms of wheelbase, anything between 10 and 12 is good. You can max it out. I don't know but most times between 10 and 12 is like a good spot. I hope I don't butcher his name. I think it's Suelio. He's a Brazilian guy. He made a video on, the Newton meters requirements that would give you a realistic feel. And I trust his judgment fully, because he's someone who has done the virtual world and is currently doing real world racing. So his input is something that I don't take for granted. And I will also put a link in his channel below so that you can check it. He does some coaching series, and I haven't signed up for any of his series yet, but I 100% believe that he's really amazing. He knows how to dissect, teaching people how to race and what you should pick, or lines and all that stuff. Let's not go off track too much. But yes, if you're picking a wheelbase, the Fanatec C is a CSL DD, and the CSL DD Plus is a good option. Acertech have their cheap options as well. Moza have their cheap options. I don't really know the names of all those individual wheelbase names, but they have their options. So if you see something that has 12 newton meters of torque, between 10, 12, 8 is not bad, but 8, 10, 12, I'll just say stay between 10 and 12. You're fine. And that would be good for a wheelbase. In terms of steering wheel, in my own opinion, I don't think you need more than 2 steering wheels. A Formula / hybrid type of steering wheel, which looks exactly like a Formula 1 wheel. Give me 1 minute and I'll get my steering wheel. 1 minute. I'm back. So, like I said, when it comes to steering wheel, I don't think you need more than 2 steering wheels. You can have more if you want. This is just my choice, my recommendation. Because literally, most of the cars that you're going to race will either come with a Formula kind of steering wheel, which looks something like this. This is a Fanatec steering wheel. Looks something like this, or maybe the wheels might be upside down, shaped in this form. But literally, with those kind of steering wheels, all you have to hold is the 3 and the 9 position on your steering wheel. And you can't hold up here, you can't hold down. That's the Formula style, steering wheel. This is one. And then the second kind of steering wheel that you need is the circular steering wheel. You can get one like I did mine. I made sure I had paddle shifters as well. There are different companies that you can go through. All this is from Fanatec, which is the reason why I just went to Fanatec. They actually were one of the first companies that had a good ecosystem. A lot of companies now are doing the same thing, so you can go any route. Just make sure you do your homework and you find out, if it's something you love and it meets all the requirements that you're looking for, that's fine. Just For me, my recommendation when it comes to steering wheels is get one Formula style and one circle wheel, one round wheel. Because in case you want to do things like dirt cross or rally, this is where this steering wheel will come in hand. And if you want to do some races where the car that you're driving has the round wheel but paddle shifters, that's the reason why I got the paddle shifters. But you can order your steering wheel without the paddle shifters, it's still fine. But as for me, if you're getting steering wheels, 2 is the perfect number. But if you're a collector, like a lot of people I see them, they have multiple steering wheels, that's still fine. Nothing is wrong. It's your passion. Enjoy it. This life is too short to live and regret why you lived. So that's for the steering wheel and the wheelbase. And now the most not underrated, but very, very important thing that you should get is your seat. There are so many options. I don't think you can ever go wrong when it comes to a seat, but I have seen situations where people actually do go wrong when it comes to picking a seat. Some companies that sell the Cockpit have the seats that they sell with them. Like Next Level Racing has their racing seat that comes with this. In my own honest opinion, when I saw the seat, it was just like, you know how you see those sports cars that have just carbon fiber shells as a seat and just little padding, and you can tell that if you were driving this car on a long journey, it wouldn't feel comfortable. That's exactly how I felt about that seat. And for me, what I got for a seat was the NRG Prisma seat, which has been very comfortable. I love the seat. It feels good. I don't have any additional paddings that I put at the back. I positioned the seat in such a way that it's really comfortable for me, that I can do long runs driving and record videos like this without actually feeling any back pain. I'm a big guy, but it suits me perfectly. So the seat is important and not something you should really overlook. Do your homework. If you want to buy the seat, like I got this off of Amazon, if you're looking for a seat, just do your best to just go through the reviews of people who actually purchased the seats and see what their complaints were and what they actually like about the seat. If it matches everything that you want, then you can go ahead and get the seat. Also watch YouTube videos of each and every seat that you want to buy, and also watch YouTube videos of these individual components I told you to look for, and then be able to make your decision. But now the final thing is accessories, which is not really it's not really something you should be looking into when you're starting your sim racing. But if you do have the money, they can get things like the butt kicker, a DDU like I do have here, which would display almost all the information when I'm driving in a lap. I have a button box right here. I have some lights that I mounted right over my head that reflects what the lights that are coming through my windshield, that just helps add some level of realism. But in my own honest opinion, the software, the hardware, the monitors, pedals, cockpit, seats, wheelbase, those are like the main things before you start adding other options into your sim rig. So like I said, number 1 was purpose. Know the purpose of you getting a sim rig. And then number 2, software. Know the software you want to run that would help you know your third, which is the hardware, which comes with the things like PC, will help you. Your software will help you know what PC you should run. And when you're looking at your PC, also have in mind of the monitors that you're going to get. and if their PC is going to be able to run them at the full refresh rate that you want them to run. And then eventually things like your pedals, look for a pedal that will help you be more consistent. Stiff pedal is the way to go. Look for a pedal that is very stiff on input, and it's not more of how it travels, but more of how much pressure you're putting into the pedals to stop your car or to, you know, apply the brakes. So look for a pedal set that actually feels like a race car. And my recommendation, like I told you guys, was Acertec Sim Sports Invicta pedals. And then we go to the cockpit. Like I said, there are multiple options. I'm rocking the Next Level Racing FGT Elite, and it is amazing. It is very sturdy. No, it doesn't squeak. I have a butt kicker right under it that runs non-stop, and the whole vibration goes through the entire rig, and yet I don't get any squeaks. It's really firm and sturdy. And then the wheelbase, like we said, 10 to 12 Newton meters is fine. But if you want to go for the 20, like I went with the Fanatec Podium, which is a lot more than 12. I think it's about 20 Newton meters or 20, I can't remember, but it's in the 2 zeros. Yeah. So wheelbase, and like I said, with the steering wheels, a Formula style wheel and a circle wheel is the best option for me. You can add more options. Look for, there are people who have tried this Fanatec steering wheel and it felt too small for them, and so they went to look for a wider Formula style wheel, which is a good option. Just, there are multiple options. Look for, if you have yourself a Formula style wheel and a circle wheel, you're really good. Then maybe you can go for Formula style wheels that have LED, that have displays on the actual wheel themselves that give you more information. Those ones are way too expensive for me, but they're actually there, and there are things that you can look at when you're getting your gears, you know, your steering wheel. And like I said, for the seats, there are multiple seats there. The Sparko seat is actually a race car seat. And when you look at the prices for the seats, you're like, ugh, but most people who buy them never complain about them. So that speaks volume. For them to spend that amount of money on a seat and never complain, it means that it meets with the quality of seat that they're looking for. So it's not everything that you need to spend all the money, spend all your money on. There are things that will actually give you the same quality even when you spend less, especially when it comes to like cockpits and things. So make sure you do your homework, and then when you have gotten your first setup with the basic things needed, then you can go ahead and add accessories. And that's pretty much it. And then with your sim, whichever sim that you're running, eventually you're in the sim world. And that's pretty much it. So guys, I hope this video was really helpful. Eventually I'm going to go through each of my individual components and let you know what I like about them, and hopefully it helps you decide what you want, whether you like what I want or you want something else. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you would take that leap of faith and go into your next chapter into sim racing. Until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget, this is very, very important. If you did like this video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that each time I post a video, you get notified. But until next time, guys, peace.